the exact same chat comment that he did.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Oh, well, it shows how much I pay attention to Callie.
Dumb shit.
Thanks for that. A few months ago, we reported on how disappointing Nintendo's upcoming streaming service seemed. For those who don't remember, the idea was you'd get a game, yes, a single game, each month, and at the end of the month, it went away to be replaced by another. The idea was pretty much universally panned, especially by us, and in a shocking move, Nintendo actually listened and redesigned the system. The service now actually has its price point released at $20 a month, and games in the library can be played forever. At launch, the service will have NES games, and Super NES games are under consideration for the second batch to be added in. While we still have tons of unanswered questions, it's surprising to see Nintendo change course on something like this.
Smart.
They listened.
Smart.
Nintendo never listens.
Yeah, no.
They don't care what we say.
Yeah, no, this is like one of the very first times that I could think of that Nintendo has ever changed course and for the better. You know what I mean?
And changed course before launch.
Yeah.
They've said, like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
They're not waiting for, like, the dollar signs to be the proof of it.
That's true.
Oh, my God.
And this is a good decision, too. Like,
Yes.
that's a service that I could see investing in on a monthly basis.
Yeah, if it's something, if I can have the entire NES library available to me, that'd be sweet.
You know it's not going to be the
No, of
entire
course
thing.
not. But it's eventually it'll be probably sizable. I don't need the entire NES library. There's a lot of garbage in there.
I mean, it does.
I don't need to play Fester's Quest again.
It does seem like a step up from even something like PlayStation Plus.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, like, it rotates titles. I think it rotates 3 titles a month. But anything that you download or you know, purchase while it's free just stays with you. Like, as long as you have PlayStation Plus, you get to keep all of those games.
Yeah, when I was on
But
years
this
ago,
seems even like even another step towards just like, pay and you get access to everything.
Yeah, which is nice because even when I was on Xbox Gold or whatever the Xbox version was, I would always make sure to log on every month just to download whatever the title is. That way, you know, you just have them just in case.
I'm being corrected in the chat that the price point is $20 a year, not a month.
was gonna say
and if that's $20 a year, that's awesome.
That's what I was looking up because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that sounded wrong, but let me double check.
Okay,
first.
yeah,
20 a year
for that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yep. There is a monthly.
That's bananas.
There is a monthly and a 3-month price that you can pay, but if it's 20 a year, why would you?
not just do that?
Because
Yeah.
it's like if you do it monthly, I think it's $4.
That's wow. Nintendo's just giving that shit away.
That's great.
And at this point, like, so now you're covering, you know, you're covering your back catalog. You're covering, you know, what is it? Back support, fucking backwards compatibility.
Yep.
There it is. You've got backwards compatibility for your oldest titles.
Yep.
Now I would just love to hear a little bit more about like this GameCube.
I like a little more
service.
on that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Like
But
to hear
here's the thing.
something about that.
If they're doing $20 a year for this, then like now you can justifiably, when you go ahead and like shut down an emulator or a ROM thing or something like that, like you can justifiably do that now when you say, no, you have access to these games. Don't try to argue you can't play the games any other way.
And for $20?
But the thing is that, you know, if you're going to take your cues from the music industry, and I think that they should, because the music industry had a very, very long, painful lesson to learn. A lot of people lost a lot of money in the interim. And what they learned is that you don't need to sue things like Napster out of existence. What you need to do is give people a more stable and more reliable and affordable alternative, and they'll just spend the 99 cents to download it off your platform rather than be bothered to find the bullshit, you know, find the software that they need to download it and then find the file that they need to download. And, you know, at some point there's diminishing returns on doing it, you know, through the through the illegal route, or at least there is now. Like, there've been enough. You know, maybe not when it was Napster, but...
Well, at the time of Napster, a lot of that was also driven by, like...
You were still...
No bullshit. People wanted to steal it. But people just didn't want to go out and buy CDs either at that point. Like, that, the age of the MP3 was coming at that point.
There was a refusal to adopt. And it was really driven more by the technology side of the MP3 and the compression sounding acceptable, as opposed to, and it's really genuinely wanting to steal from an artist or steal from, a record company.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people that eventually, like, once the lawsuits went went out for people that were downloading stuff, and once you had the whole Lars Ulrich thing, like, then people really did go, no, fuck you, I'm going to steal this album because I feel like you're a dickweed. And
I'm going to steal this album because it's System of a Down and you titled it that.
Or the Suicide Machines, they did the same thing. So, you know, like, and so if video games want to take a cue from that the best thing, and especially because, you know, and MP3s, really all you had to do was you had to download one file, you ran that file, and as long as you had something like Winamp, it ran. Right? With games, it's a little bit more complicated because if you're going to pirate it, you know, you've got to go through basically everything that you've got to go through for software cracking. It's almost the same process, and you open your system up to the potential for spyware or viruses. And so I think that even video games have a better opportunity to bring people over to the legit market side, and they have a bigger market. Like, they didn't lose as much of their core demographic as the music industry did to things like Napster or Kazaa or
Kazaa.
Oh
man. I had Kazaa.
Or LimeWire. Or, I mean, like, there were so many of them. You know what I mean?
One that had something to do with teddy bears, I feel like.
What? What?
No, there was. My friend had one that had, like, teddy bear in the name.
What are you talking about?
It was like LimeWire, but it was called something else.
Bearwire.
Won't know it. Come on.
Bearwire? Teddy bear pirates.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Speaking of bears,
BearShare. See, Ghostpoke. BearShare. That's it.
BearShare.
Bear for an icon. Yes, it's totally a real thing.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you, Ghostpoke.
BearShare. No, but I mean, like, but again, you know, the barrier to entry for, you know, taking music is far lower than the barrier for entry for taking a game. And again, you know, you didn't see the market fall off like the music industry did. The music industry saw a lot of their fans just fall off and start looking to alternative methods and looking towards people who weren't even on their record label to entertain them. And if video games want, if the video game industry wants to avoid that same sort of constriction, that same sort of retraction of their audience, doing this, being proactive and making sure that services like this are affordable is one of the best ways to do that.
A streamer by the name of Disguised Toast decided to do a free-to-play challenge in Hearthstone, meaning he makes a fresh account and without spending a dime tries to